Hi guys, welcome back to the Crafty Maven Getaway YouTube channel, and today I'm using that inspiration piece in this sketch from Bella Boulevard to make my layout. And I just want to say thank you guys for joining me on Christmas Eve. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season and you've gotten to spend lots of time with friends and family, or gotten time to craft because you had some time off or what have you. So hopefully that is the case for you and you're having a wonderful day. So to my layout, I wanted to make this using the sketch, and I wanted to do something somewhat simple this time, and I really wanted to use this wood grain paper, so thought it was perfect to go with the inspiration piece for the week with the pine cones and stuff. It reminded me of outdoors and woodsy and everything, and I've had this piece of paper in my stash for quite some time, so I definitely wanted to use it. And I wanted to use these photos from 4th of July, but what I ended up doing was making 3 of the 4 photos black and white, and then the middle focal point photo a really muted color, so the red, white, and blue of my daughter's outfit wasn't so pronounced because I didn't really want this to be too themey of a layout. I kind of wanted to use more muted colors, and the colors in the inspiration piece are beautiful. So I used kind of the wood grain where I got the inspiration from the pine cones. I have some kind of tealish colors, tealish aqua colors, and then I also have some pinks in this layout. So that's what I kind of took from the inspiration piece. So what you saw me do just a couple minutes ago was take my Tim Holtz, or my Dylusions white picket fence, I think it might be. I'm not quite sure, but it's white Dylusion spray, and I just misted a very light amount on there. You can't really see it in the video, but you can see it in the close-ups a lot better. And then I made this scallop border just using the bottom part of my gesso bottle, and I trimmed it out, or traced it out and then trimmed it. And I traced it on the back so I wouldn't leave any pencil marks that I had to erase on the front. And I don't have a scallop punch that's this wide, so this is a perfect way to use your existing supplies to make things that will work for you. So I just took this pink piece of paper, made this scallop shelf-like element to set my pictures on, and that lacy ribbon is from Stampin' Up that I got quite some time ago, and I'm using that just as a transition between the pink scallop and the wood grain or board paper that's the background. So I'm going to futz with that just a little bit, and I'm going to end up gluing this down with my ATG gun, but then also with some washi tape just to secure it, because sometimes when you're taking these in and out of the pockets or putting other pages behind it, it gets stuck. So I added the washi tape over the end of the lace trim so that it doesn't get hooked up on other pages in my page protector. So now I'm going to try to place these photos, and I'm going to play with them for a little bit, and I'm going to find out that I really need to trim them down just slightly, so you're going to see me doing that in a second. So hopefully you guys will join us over on our Facebook board. I will have a question up today, so you can go over there and check out the question of the day, and I hope you guys participate along and maybe use this sketch that I have here, or use some of the colors from the inspiration piece, do some layouts, because I know you guys have some time off, hopefully, and you can get some scrapbooking done. I'm hoping for you guys, and hopefully you get some family time in there too. So now I'm just using my Creative Memories trimmer to trim up these pictures just a little bit. The main photo is a 4x6, and these photos are going to be slightly smaller, than a 3x4 card. So they're going to be 4 inches tall, but a little bit smaller than 3 inches wide. And that just lets me put a little bit of space between the 2 photos on the left, and I like that a little bit better than overlapping them. I felt like it was too concentrated, I guess, and having that space in between just made everything look a lot more open, I guess. It was just a little too cluttered. It looked cluttered to me. So I was thinking about putting a strip of paper down, but I end up changing my mind, so you're going to see me get this paper away in a second. The doily is from my stash. And now I'm going to pick and use a couple different bits and pieces that I had around the house. The little bingo cards are from Simple Stories. I don't remember the line that they're in, but they are Simple Stories that were from a 12x12 cutout sheet, so I just trimmed those out. The stars are from Teresa Collins. She had a little die cut pack. I'm ending up changing out this one star with the white because most of my stuff was cream. I didn't like the starkness of that white, so I changed it out for a full complete star, and that's just gold glitter. That banner that I'm putting there at the top left is from Crate Paper. It was a remnant from a Scraptastic kit. The round circle I just tucked in there, I think that might have been from Studio Calico. I'm not sure. It was a die cut pack that I just kind of put in a bunch of other containers. Oh, my cat just sneezed. Bless you, Cody. He sneezed right into the microphone. Anyway, going back to the layout, the chipboard frame is from the Crate Paper Pure collection. And that paper that I am getting ready to trim out, or actually I'm going to end up using it for my tile, that's from the Crate Paper Pure Collection 2, I think, or maybe from that Simple Stories paper pad. I'm going to mount my photo on this pink paper. It's slightly lighter than the darker pink of the scallops that I have there. And then I'm just going to kind of futz around with the layers and try just to get them the way I like them to be. I'm going to end up moving that scallopy, flaggy banner that's in the top left down towards the bottom, not totally the bottom, but the bottom right of those little photos, because I thought the whole layout was a little bit too top heavy. I needed something down at the bottom more to balance everything out. So you're going to see me move that in a second. The little bow that I have there, I believe is from Pebbles that I've had in my stash for quite some time. I think it was just some items I picked up at the store, nothing from a kit or anything. I'm going to end up using that bow down by the title here a little bit later, and that's where I move that banner. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it a little bit behind that focal point photo and then have the star kind of be at the end. And I think that blends in pretty well, and I like that balance a lot better than what I had before. So now I'm just going to look this over and try to decide if I like where everything is. And I'm going to still try to put this bow in here, and it's just not going to work. So you're going to see me actually take it off the paper clip and try something, and that's still not going to work. And then, like I said, later on, it's going to end up going by the title. So you get to watch me move the bow around the page. There should be games, like a drinking game. Every time you put an embellishment down, you move it around. The people that are watching the videos should take a drink, and it could be a great drinking game. That's a good holiday party for you guys. Anyway, back to the layout. I felt like I had too much blue in that top right corner. I needed some pink, so I'm going through my what are those called? Enamel dot stash, trying to find some enamel dots that I can use to kind of balance the layout a little bit more, trying to get some pink up at the top right, and you're going to see me add those on later. Here is how I'm doing the title. I didn't want to get my Cameo out to cut the title out. I didn't want to grab any thickers this time, and so I decided to use the paper that came in the Twilight Tool paper sheet, and I just printed these letters using my printer, and I'm going to go old school on this, and I'm going to adhere these down and then just trim each one of these letters out. And if you guys do this, I highly recommend using a font that is nice and bold and not real skinny, not real fancy, something that has some straight edges. It makes the process of cutting all of these out so much easier. And so I'm going to trim all those out. I'm just going to show you the B. I'm not going to end up doing all the letters on camera, and I'm going to fast forward here in just a second so you can see what it looks like when it's done. I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut out the centers of the letters, and this is just a great way, one, if you don't have a Cameo but you still want to be able to do this kind of thing, you can do that. Or if you're being lazy or somewhat lazy like me, I ended up just doing this out of ease instead of bringing out my Cameo and all that. So there you go, that's the B, and in a second here you'll see the rest of the word, and I just spelled out beauty, as you probably noticed. And so now I am going to place this down on the layout, and I'm going to end up gluing them with my Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive using my fine liner bottle, which I absolutely love. I highly recommend getting one of those. If you, like me, put a lot of glue on little detail pieces, it's nice because you have a lot of control over the glue and it works well. Now, because I like kind of everything that I have and where I have everything, I'm going to take my my ATG gun, and I'm going to put adhesive over the embellishments and stick them all down. And I didn't use all of this cardboard frame or chipboard frame, so I end up trimming out the pieces that I do use, and I also cut off the bottom of that bingo card. I probably didn't need to do that since I'm probably not going to use those other pieces on another layout. But you know, I just did it out of habit. I like to save and conserve some of the pieces. A lot of times I'll cut them in half and use them in other places on the layout, but this time I'm not going to do that. So now I'm just placing my 4x6 photo down here in the middle, and I'm just trying to play with the angle of that, and I'm going to have to move that little chipboard frame up just a smidge to get that where I want it to be. And because of the thickness of the chipboard frame, I am going to put some of these Stampin' Up! Dimensionals underneath, and I like the thickness of these. I actually need to order a few more because I'm starting to run low, but these are my favorite pop-up or dimensional adhesive because they're just thick enough to show some dimension, but not so thick that they put a lot of bulk in your album. Now I'm going to adhere down the star and that banner on the left-hand side, and then finally I believe this this star is last. And I'm going to actually end up putting some of the dimensional adhesive under this as well. Once I get that done, I'm going to adhere the title down again with my Scotch Quick Dry. I can't say Scotch today, I keep saying Squatch. My Scotch Quick Dry. So that's going to happen right now. And then I just have a few more bits to do on this layout. Next, after I glue these letters down, I'm going to do some journaling. And in the sketch, the journaling was at the top of the page, and actually I just kind of flipped the sketch around. If you remember from when I showed it earlier, the two smaller pictures are actually on the right hand side, the title is on the right hand side, and the journaling is all on the right hand side, but I kind of flipped the layout, so now it's the journaling and stuff is on the left. Because I put the spray on the top portion of the paper, where I journal using a white pen, it doesn't show up very well. So I do a little bit of journaling there and underline it with the gel pen, and then because you can't see it as well, in person it's okay, but it still doesn't look as nice as it could be. I actually end up journaling in the bottom right too. So here, sorry about my dog. So here is where I add the bow in, and I'm just going to use some glue dots here to glue that down, and that seems the best way to be adhering this fabric rather than using a liquid adhesive. It seems to soak into the fabric a lot, so the glue dots and things work the best I think on this. So now I'm going to do that journaling, and I'm going to fast forward through here so you don't have to watch me doing all of that. I'm going to underline all of it, and then I'm going to go around the entire page. Sorry, you can see my big nose in the way. I'm going to put a little doodles of stars and then go around the entire page putting an outline, and then I'm going to show you some close-ups here. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season and you're enjoying your Christmas Eve. Stay tuned for some of the close-ups, and if you would like to follow me on my channel, you can look at the description below and it has all the information about my channel. Or if you would like to join us on our Facebook page or join our Facebook group, please do that. Again, all of our links are below. And thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas and have a great day. Bye-bye.